How you guys doing?
Jaylon,
How are you?
I'm alright, I'm alright.
any questions?
So how different is it for you to be here, with, obviously with the contract now as opposed to last year?
No different.
No different?
Nah, I mean, the new number, so I mean that feels a little different. But as far as the contract goes, that doesn't change how I move or how I go about doing things out on the field. So I mean, everything feels the same for me.
What about the certainty though? Like there's the certainty of knowing you're going to be here and you're going to be one of the key guys involved in overseeing the future here. Does that change anything for you as far as your role, your stature?
Nah, I mean, I feel like it's easier for the outside to look at like my role on this team differently now that that's the case. But I mean, for me, my role has been pretty consistent through the years. I feel like, I mean, again, I take what I do very seriously. I have a lot of pride in what I do, and I feel like for me, one of the biggest things is being a good person, being a good human. And it doesn't matter the regime, it doesn't matter the contract, it doesn't matter my status or whatever people may think I have. I mean, at the end of the day, I come in here and I work, and I'm a good teammate. I mean, I take care of the people around me. I'm respectful around the building. I mean, none of that changes because of a contract. And I mean, the certainty, yeah, but I mean, contract don't stop you from getting traded. So I mean, there's really no certainty. I mean, at the end of the day, the money is there. Of course, the money's guaranteed, but as far as certainty goes, there to me, you're nobody's expendable or not expendable.
Or you
What do
said,
you like? What do you like about wearing the number 1?
I mean, it feels like home for one. I wore it in high school. Well, wore it in middle school, then high school, and then of course in college. So I mean, just coming back home feels good, and I feel like it looks good as well.
what is the energy like around the defense right now? You guys are loud, you're aggressive. What's it like to be a part of that unit right now?
I mean, honestly, I feel like it's a blessing just to see how far I feel like we've came. I think too, just last year leaving a lot on the table early in the season, and now being able to pick off where we left off at last year, I think is a good feeling. I feel like even adding, of course, Kevin coming in here and adding his veteran IQ to the game, just calling out things, allowing us to play faster, us being on the same page. I feel like for me too, having him now instead of Eddie, I feel like it's been a very smooth transition. Just coming in and building and talking about how we want to play certain things, how he sees it. I mean, we see a lot of the game the same way. So I think just on that part, and then just also too getting everybody back together, back like I said, back where we left off at. So I mean, it's a lot of energy out there for us to have, and I think we can definitely take it up a few notches this year. And then we're gonna have a good offense to go against to make us better. So I think we're very excited for the opportunity in practice and for this upcoming year.
You said before how
You've come since the first year of Ryan Poles and this rebuild that has been going on. Do you think about that as well? The attention that this team is getting, the expectations?
You're saying how far we've come or
Yeah.
I've come? Have I thought about it? No, I mean I feel like it just goes fast. I think for me to just staying in the moment. I think not really looking too far ahead and not looking too far back. I feel like just staying where my feet are, being where my feet are. I think it's for me just a situation where I'm just happy to be where I'm at right now, and I feel like I haven't really looked at it from a team perspective. I know one thing that hasn't left my mind is the amount of wins that we have. So I think for me, that's what I'm focused on is winning. I feel like we haven't. I'm not even gonna say under this regime, but since I've been in the building, we haven't had to me a winning season yet. So I think that's the biggest step for me is just to try to get as many wins as possible this year. Trying to get 10 wins, trying to get to the playoffs, get some things that I feel like this building hasn't had for me since I've been here.
Jaylon, I know getting that new contract was the security of it was a big goal for you. What motivates you now that you have it?
Being the best corner in the league.
What specifically about your own growth when you look at the question that Mark was asking you about the team's growth? But what about when you look at your own growth? What do you see in your game now that stands out to you as, oh, I've really refined this. I've really honed this part of my game.
What part? I would say one, IQ, and two, I would say consistency. I think, 'cause I feel like I've always been talented physically. I think now kind of just getting more reps, seeing things different, talking to guys, just being able to see the game from a wider lens. I feel like you come in as a rookie and you're kind of developing, you come in with a narrow lens. And now that, for me, being in my 5th year, I can open my lens and see things that I couldn't see before in my previous years. I'm pretty comfortable with route concepts, kind of just how offenses go about doing things. I feel like kind of just now finding finding that rhythm again, getting back into it in mini camp. But I feel like for me, I'm on a different level. I feel like mentally, and then I feel like the consistency part just comes in with honing in on my technique, and that's something I take extreme pride in. Of course, in the off season, and then these next few weeks going and preparing for camp, I feel like I'm gonna come in better than I've ever have just because of my preparation. Just the way that I've been able to grow mentally, spiritually, in all aspects. I mean, I feel like really just like I said, just my IQ and then my consistent growth.
What is
Given
it like
the
being?
attitude and energy of this defense, how have you guys helped prepare Caleb Williams? Cause I know you've said yourself in the past, you wanna make sure that he's ready based on
Right.
going against a top 5 defense in the NFL. How has this defense and you specifically helped give him some love and some rookie
Tough love.
attention, to say the least?
How? I think really just the biggest thing I feel like that I've learned as I've gotten older in this league is giving rookies different looks. And I think we do a good job of that, of trying to really confuse them at practice. And not even just because it's him, but just as a defense, you want to be able to confuse quarterbacks. And I think that's the biggest thing that comes with being a rookie quarterback is being able to analyze what the defense is in, and then I feel like from there, I feel like it's easier to make the right reads, but it's a lot harder when you're doing that in the middle of your drop instead of at the line of scrimmage. So I think for us, just trying to give them different looks, and then of course throughout the duration of the plays, we always want to be sticky in coverage, be in the right spots when it comes to our underneath droppers and things like that. So I think for us, really just doing what we do, and I think that's like I said, giving different looks and being sticky in coverage and having a heck of a rush.
From your perspective, how far along do you think he is in his learning curve from where you guys first got on the field a couple weeks ago to where, today, where he's at? Because he seems like he doesn't have, I guess, trepidation of testing out his arm a little bit against you guys.
Honestly, that's hard for me to answer. I wouldn't want to give you a made up answer. I feel like it's hard to tell because again, I feel like we're all getting back in the groove of things, and I feel like for me, I've really only been watching myself in the defense and just what I can do personally to just get back where I want to be. But I mean, it's hard for me to just give you a true answer on that.
Does it feel like with this defense, so now that you don't have a rookie to break in with, Tyreek now being another year in this, do you feel like you guys can hit the ground running a little bit quicker than maybe last year?
Definitely, I feel like that's our goal really, and I feel like that's why we're so excited just to be able to come in with a sense of momentum. Not having really too many guys that I mean, Kevin of course is new, but he's been in the league for a long time, so he knows how to play the game and he can learn. But I feel like just having consistency, I feel like within the guys having a certain level of experience and a certain level of hungerness, and everybody just understanding what the standard is and what we want to accomplish. I feel like that allows us to play a lot faster, play a lot smarter. Like you said, to your point.
Jaylon, identity-wise, you guys have shown an ability defensively to make plays and then make noise. I'm curious, from your standpoint, what the value of having a loud defense is.
I feel like it's intimidating. I mean, I feel like it's one thing to make plays, but I feel like when you're, like you said, being loud, when you're talking after every play, that you really start to see if somebody's going to stand up or if they're going to fold. And I feel like with, of course, execution, I feel like comes energy. So I feel like for us, in order to have that energy, we got to execute. But I feel like with the combination of both, I feel like you can definitely make teams fold. I feel like we showed some flashes that last year where we were dominating, we were able to talk, and we kind of seen how people started responding back. And then I feel like for us, just being able to keep that foot on the gas and just really finish teams off.
You played against a lot of quarterbacks in this league. Enough to know like this dude is nice, this dude is not nice. What are some of the things that you've seen from Caleb early on that's like, that's different, that's nice?
I would say touch. I would say to touch on some of his passes. I feel like to come in early doing that. I think it's really hard to say because like you see it in college, so it's like now you kind of seeing it up close and it's like okay, that's what they were talking about. But I think I know he has a special arm. When it just comes to touch, ball position, I feel like especially the first day, I think it was OTAs, he was fitting some seam passes in that were pretty. I was like okay, he's putting those right over the defender's head. So I was like he got a good sense of touch, a good sense of ball placement. I feel like that stood out the most.
In training camp of this year, or last year,
Said in training camp.
last year, you guys were talking about how you felt like you were on the verge of something. Is it defensively? And how does it feel different now that it feels like you kind of got to at least where you want to go to a little bit toward the end of last year and now can build on that?
I feel like it's hard to say. I feel like one of those things where we come in, for the most part, everybody comes in healthy. We all come in with a sense of energy. We go through camp and you're competing and you feel good. And then I feel like, depending on the team, adversity hits you in different ways. And I feel like ours hit us early. I feel like we had some key injuries early. We didn't have all our guys together. And then, of course, I feel like we didn't get healthy until the back end of the season. Then we added Montez, and I feel like then that's when we really took off. So I think for us, it's wanting to, of course, get better as a unit, but I think too also we want to be able to have longevity in the game and being able to play and being available, because I feel like we have a very special defense, but I feel like we're only going to be as special as our health allows us to be. I mean, we can all go out there and be healthy, then I feel like we'll definitely be a special defense from start to finish. But I feel like, I mean, of course, you can't necessarily stop injuries from happening, but I feel like the healthier we are going into season, I think it'll be nothing less than a great defense.
Jaylon,
Jaylon,
what's
knowing
what's
what-
different for you being part of this defense versus the one that you walked into when you were a rookie, which was also very good, but had a lot of guys that were here, as opposed to this one, you've been part of it basically from the ground up.
And you're saying what's the difference for me?
What feels different about this as opposed to when you step into a team that's got Hicks and Mack and Eddie Jackson and all these guys already in place?
I mean, it's hard because that's a completely different dynamic with myself coming into the situation versus being one of those pieces that you mentioned when you're talking about a great defense. I think, ooh, how would I explain that? I think really just, I feel like now, I feel like the biggest difference is you have to kind of prove yourself as a rookie that you belong in that room and that talk. And I feel like that was one of the biggest things that I was trying to do. I feel like just come in and prove myself. I feel like now it's a situation where everybody's pretty much like proven. And like, I mean, to the question earlier, nobody's new. Nobody's really a rookie. Nobody hasn't proved himself, and everybody has skin in the game, and everybody knows what we can do. I feel like for me in that situation, it was something where I had a lot to prove, and pretty much just prove that I had some value on the defense and I had value on the field. But I think really this unit, I think from what I'm able to feel for the most part, is we're a lot closer as far as relationship goes. I feel like having those older guys, I feel like it's not as much continuity. I feel like for us now, I feel like we hang out a lot more than before. I know my rookie year we didn't go. I mean, it was COVID too, so I mean we weren't just having so many barbecues and cookouts. But I think too, just being a lot closer this year with this defense again, having a lot of guys back again.
And Kyler mentioned the benchmark of trying to get 20 interceptions and 20 fumble recoveries.
Right.
Where did that originate?
I mean, quite honestly, I'm not sure. I wasn't here for the whole entire offseason, so I don't know where necessarily the number came from. But I mean, how many did we have last year? How many interceptions did we have last year?
It was 22 last year.
22. I mean, so yeah, it's not like we saying anything that hasn't been done or that can't be done. I think it's very doable. I mean, and I dropped 2. We could have had 24.
Has it been energizing for you, just Keenan, Rome, Caleb, just this level of competition?
Has it been energizing for me? Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, just the competitive nature in me just having to go against, I'm going to say more so Keenan. I mean, of course, I went against DJ last year, so not so much a new thing, but more so being able to see a guy like that, kind of talk to him about certain things that he does and the reason why he does certain things. I feel like it's definitely exciting for me, and then to truly be able to go against it, because I feel like he's a receiver that's unpredictable, and I feel like as skillful a lot of these guys are in the league that do a lot of great things, I feel like um, they're not as unpredictable, not as crafty as I feel like Keenan is. So being able to go against that every day, I think is something that can definitely help me and the DBs to get better. And then of course Rome coming in and finding his way. I feel like more so mentally, and then I feel like letting his instincts and his physical being take over after that. And then of course DJ is DJ. He's a playmaker. So I mean, I feel like for me, just every time I come out, especially for camp, I know I'm gonna be ready to go for sure.
Jaylon, having battled what you did last year and getting all of the off the field stuff in order for you, do you feel lighter coming in here now? Do you feel like it will translate on the field as well now that everything feels better off the field?
I feel lighter. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, even with doing that, I mean, to me, life never stops lifing. So, I mean, there's just new challenges, new things to go on. I mean, I just got engaged, having a baby on the way. So, I mean, I got plenty more obstacles that still keep a little pressure on my shoulders. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like God gives me the strength to overcome any obstacle that I have, to anything that comes in my life. I feel like I have full strength and endurance to be able to get through it. I mean, it's just certain things just come in seasons. So I mean, just for me, this a whole new season, mentally, of course, physically for this season. So I mean, I'm ready for it. I don't know what's to come, and whatever it is, I know I'll be good through it.
Boston, Dallas.
As far as
Ooh, we're not gonna end on that one, but I'll go with Dallas.
Jaylon, as far as Rome's concerned, as someone who's faced the best receivers in the NFL for 4 years, what strikes you about his talent and potential?
That I've seen in person or just in general.
Either one.
I would probably say his contested catch. I feel like it's pretty good. I know a lot of the highlights that I've seen, of course, in college were him going up top and making some very good contested catches. Even against some of my youth, there was some pretty dang good catches he made. But really, just watching this game, I feel like I feel like he's truly like a gamer. When the lights come on, it's time to go. I feel like he's the one to make a play, and I feel like he showed that in college. And I feel like now just showing flashes of him making plays in the air when the ball's in the air, him going and getting and making those tough catches. I feel like that's something he's going to really bring and add a lot of value to our team.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
What's up, y'all? Good, how you guys doing?
Keenan yesterday said that you guys look like a top 5 defense. What's your reaction to that? And can you say that about a defense as you?
I'm all about proving it. So we can say a lot of things, but I will say that I definitely feel a lot from the defense as far as chemistry, energy, and just the type of timing that we're on. So for us all to be on the same page and take a step further than last year, I picture a lot of things for us in the future. So I'm just excited. Yeah,
3
definitely.
of 5 of you in the secondary have now been in the system for 3 years. Like, what's the most tangible thing that you feel just with that experience between? I mean, especially you, Jaylon, and Javon.
Yeah, I mean, just trust really. So whatever play it is, whatever situation it is, we've built that bond and just kind of know what each other like our play styles are and who's gonna do what, and just kind of knowing that the dependability on each other to do what they're gonna do just because we do it at practice, knowing that they're gonna do it in the game and stuff like that. So being able to do that for an extended period of time just feels like we're just gonna keep getting flawless at it. So yeah.
What's your next, like, when you look at this defense, what's next? How do you go from good to great?
Yeah. I feel like the biggest thing for me and what we all talk about is just takeaways, more takeaways. So I'm gonna have the goal of 20 and 20, 20 INTs, 20 fumbles. However we got to get it, gonna get it. And that's just kind of the standard that we put ourselves to, that we all hold each other to. And yeah.
Watching you and Keenan in the slides, like iron sharpening iron, what do you think you can learn just having that matchup when he does come in the slide on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah. For me, with him, already so far, like, I feel like for him, he's going to keep me disciplined and stuff like that. So, he's a quick twitch dude as well. I got a really good release and get off and stuff like that. So for me, staying disciplined the whole entire time. Another thing for him, he's very efficient with his steps that he takes, doing what he does. And so for me, that makes me have to be even more efficient with my steps and not take as many or just be smooth or come out the break right, read it right, versus the stem or whatever it might be. So I'm excited to keep battling him and keep getting better with him. Yeah.
You mentioned the energy that you're feeling from the defense. How would you describe what that feels like right now, knowing that you guys are kind of building off of what you finished last year?
Yeah, it really just feels like a giant build-up. It just feels like bigger and bigger every day. The more we hang out, the more we play ball together, the more we do anything together. Like, everyone's just on the same type of timing. Like, who gonna make the next play? Who gonna do this? Who gonna do that? Like, and we know what we want to be. And so, the expectation is high for ourselves that, we put our standards all the way up there. So you can just feel it every day at practice. So, yeah.
Is that a big
The value is of having a group that has that build up, but can also be loud about it and create a little bit more to it.
Yeah, it's intimidating, like, for other people. When people constantly getting hit, constantly run to the ball, all 11 hats, loud, communicating loud. I just feel like, like, what are they doing, So I love it. Everyone's saying something every day. Someone got some type of energy everywhere, so I like it, yeah. That's the type of system I want to be in.
What are your impressions of Caleb so far?
I like him a lot. I think his arm talent shows immediately. He's very poised. He's just learning every single day, chipping away and slowly getting better. And we know we're all surrounding him. He's young and stuff like that, but, he holds himself nice and, excited to see him play.
What was it like for you when you found out a fellow Husky was drafted?
I was excited. I love my Huskies. We got 4 here now. And so, slowly getting more and more. But, I love Rome. I played 2 years with him. I seen him do amazing things, young and grow, and he's progressed so much. And so, I love dogs. You know what it is.
Did you have any sense when you were playing with him a few years ago that he could be what he's become?
For sure. I remember his freshman year. I forget, against Wazoo. Odell back of the end zone, just one hand, like freshman we've never seen. Like, he's long, lanky, got some speed in him. And so from then I'm like, yeah, he gonna be one of our guys here at UW, and he's just grown so much.
Kyler, you mentioned turnovers being something you want to work on. As an individual, what are some of the little things you can do to foster those?
Yeah. Kind of like what I was saying a little earlier, like being efficient, not taking too many steps, getting on the brakes, or reading run pass a little better, or getting eyes on the QB and breaking before he about to throw the ball and anticipating things. And that all comes from like film and, being out there a little more and just feeling it, seeing it. And I definitely feel like I feel way more than I've ever felt, just instinct wise and just being out there and just feeling everything in my zone and stuff like that. So, those small things and just corrections every day. I'm always taking notes in film, just trying to get some type of detail, something I'm gonna focus on when I go out there. So just taking a little piece every single day and just making that right. Yeah.
We've seen just a couple of these practices. So I mean, the deep ball that Caleb threw to Velas today was one of only a few of those. Like, have you noticed him feeling comfortable testing out his arm though throughout like OTAs and?
Yeah, he's definitely took chances and throw it. You can see it. I think he like to throw it deep, but yeah, I've definitely seen that. What exactly you asking? My bad.
Just about like, I mean, he's testing a pretty experienced secondary. I mean, from your experience, has that been a regular thing from him?
I mean, he should, like get the feeling, know what he can and can't do. He's talented, so he gonna figure this stuff out. And it's just all about getting better and trying to get that experience. The same way when I was young and any rookie growing up, you're gonna try things and feel it and get the experience and kind of know. And so for him, that's what he's gonna do, and he's just gonna keep stacking. And I got no doubt he's gonna do his thing.
Bears got a lot of attention for adding a bunch of offensive players.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb, whether it's Rome, running backs, tight ends, everything. What do the defensive players think of that? Do you view it as a challenge now on the practice field, or is it very much we're all on the same team?
I mean, we all. My bad. Yeah, we all on the same team, but like, I mean, the draft and looking at all these offensive guys, I mean, it didn't really matter to us. I mean, it does. Like, we want to do that and go crazy, but it doesn't affect what we're gonna do. We still gonna go out there and battle. But being able to have those pieces that are gonna help sharpen us and make us a better defense and really challenge us and test us. That's what we want. We're not scared of nothing. So whatever gonna make us better, that's what we want. And I think we got some pieces all around that are gonna sharpen iron the whole entire time. So yeah.
Where do you see the effect of the continuity where you've played with several of these guys in the second and third level of the defense for multiple years now?
What about it?
Where do you see that show up? Where do you see the benefits of that?
Kind of when I was talking about like dependability. I feel like that's where I really see it. Knowing like, I feel like trust is just such a big thing. Like just being able to just know like your guy's gonna do what he's gonna do, and whether that be Jaylon or whether that be Tremaine, and communications on points. Like I don't have to. It's almost just second nature, doing it so many times. But yeah.
After you broke your hand, you were saying like you never really had like fully back 100%. Do you feel like your hand is like back before you broke it?
Is it back full like before? It's getting there. It's like I give it like 90%. I think I'll be good by the season. It's not like that's nothing concerning me or restricting me or anything. I still pick the ball, do everything, flip. Yeah. Nah, it's not holding me back at all. But we getting there. Just a little scar tissue. That's it.
Tyler, what's it like as a teammate last year when you see Jaylon enjoy the breakthrough he was looking for, and then
What you said?
Jaylon, the season he had last year, and then getting paid this offseason and getting the stability you sought? What's it like as a teammate to see a guy enjoy that kind of success?
I mean, it's exciting, like, he gonna bring the success here and keep going. We gonna keep surrounding him and pushing him to keep doing what he does and stuff like that. So, I mean, all you can do when you see a guy get success and do his thing, just keep challenging him. We want to be the best. So, our side of the defense, we gonna keep challenging him and keep pushing him, talking, getting in his ear, whatever gonna make him better. You're gonna hear us all practice. So, I mean, all that stuff is just outside noise. I mean, he is who he is, and he gonna be a good player.
You play next to Tyreek a lot. Where have you seen his growth and development since he first?
Yeah, I'll say his comfortability, and I feel like that's one thing from the beginning that he just gotten smarter and more comfortable. And the more comfortable he got, to me, the more plays he's made. And that happens. Being a rookie, you just get your feet, established and stuff like that. So Tyreek a confident dude, and he feeling himself. So he gonna make his plays and get better and better. Yeah. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
I got to open a statement? Yeah, I got to open a statement. Huh?
prepared an opening statement, we'll listen.
Just like a lot of my homework, I don't do that.
How do you think the offense looks so far?
I feel like we're gonna have having a little rough spots right now. Yeah, we got things we gotta get on, like cadence wise and everything. But that's been pointed out. I mean, we can't not acknowledge it. We all acknowledge it right now, and we're gonna definitely get on top of that. But so far, everything else has been great.
With the cadence, it takes a while, but from an offensive lineman standpoint, what is the process of learning how Caleb kind of calls things in his voice?
You know, it means a lot. I mean, that's what engages us to get off that ball, and that's what's emphasized in this offense. You know, we communicate to him what we need from him, and he has a lot of other things going on. You know, he's running the whole offense, but one thing that we always like, you know, try to tell him is like voice louder, emphasize like even if we're like going on two, emphasize that second like hut, like to make the defense draw off sides, get a free play, and those plays that we got last year, you know, that we got that free touchdown to DJ, you know, that was like on a free play, like the emphasis on that hut, you know, the defense makes it real, thinks it's real, so they get off, and just communicating to him that those voice inflections are very important and everything.
This might sound dumb, but like, obviously you guys are practicing that, hearing him out on the field. Is that stuff that's also going on in the classroom of like, just like straight up vocal exercises for you to hear what it sounds like?
Yeah, we do walkthroughs in the indoor area, and just working on cadences, and I mean we have like one of the best move teams on the whole NFL. Like Billings is probably top voice of doing that, and he's got us a lot, and that's one thing that we got to get better at. And the one thing we always do is in the ITC, what we do is try to imitate that move call with him doing his regular cadence.
How do you do that? Sorry. How do
You want me to yell in there?
just yelling at him?
No, you want me to yell? No, you want me to yell like Billings?
What does it sound like?
Move! And then you get back into the cadence. And you try to say ready, like, and then Billings yell move, and then you try to like not jump off sides and get used to him hearing him back there getting loud.
What's the dynamic offensively of kind of collectively recalibrating patience with the rookie quarterback, understanding that some of these rough spots are just inevitable and you're just gonna have to endure them for a little bit?
You know, yeah, I mean it's football, you know. The new face, new guy. I mean, he's coming in from college, you know, it's gonna be a little different for him. You know, and you know, I have all the confidence he's gonna get it down very quick. I mean, he's a quick learner. So you know, there's always that patience in anybody. I mean, new offense, new playbook, new city. I mean, there's a lot of things going on for him right now. So
You're entering
what's your mindset entering this year? You know, last year, your contract, everything you've gone through. What's kind of
mindset this year? Stay healthy. That's number one. That's utmost importance for me right now. Stay healthy, get through the whole 17 games, and continue my strong play from last year, and be a more consistent, reliable guy.
Have you guys talked to the Bears about an extension yet?
We reached out, yeah. None's on the table.
How do you feel, where do you feel things stand between you and the administration about having a future here?
Up in there. Can't tell you.
What's your you talk about the way you played last year. What's it done for your confidence level?
It shows me that, you know, I can still be a top 10 guard, left guard, right guard. Here, play week 5, week 6 over there. I mean, it shows that I can be versatile, and it shows that I'm confident in myself.
You talked about with the cadence being the one kind of big issue that you guys are working on. Does that put you guys in a good place, being if that's the biggest issue, and I it's a legit issue?
Exactly.
But does it put you in a good place?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, the little thing, like the minute details of that being our biggest problem. I mean, that means we're in a good spot right now.
What's it like going against this defense right now?
Like you guys know, it's top 5 defense in the NFL. I mean, they're hard. They're pause. I mean, they're just the top 5 defense. I mean, they do everything great. I mean, from TJ to you got Byron back there now. Yeah, Montez. I mean, the whole defense is amazing. I mean, that's what they do. They go get after the quarterback. It's really good for us because trying to improve our play, and we're going against that type of defense, top 5 defense. It's going to also elevate us too. Coach was talking about the flexibility that y'all have on the interior with Bates and Sheldon and Nate.
obviously that'll work itself out once the pass come on, but any talk about you going to the right side and playing next to Darnell full time?
As of right now, no. Not at all.
Does the defense talk too much?
We're competing. How about that? That's what we do. That's what we do. All right. That's all I can say right now.
What have your impressions been of Caleb, just at both as a player and just as a person?
Great competitor. A guy who's willing to absorb all knowledge, no matter what facet he's doing in life, and just great overall dude. You know, I met him at dinner, and he met my daughter. You know, he was nice. He met my wife. Everybody. He's just shaking hands. You know, and it was really nice of him to like go out of his way to like we were having dinner off to the side, and he came over there. He came over and said hi to us because we're like we don't want to bother Caleb. I mean, he's here having his own dinner. He came over, said hi to my wife, like to make it introduce my wife and everything, and I thought that was really cool of him. So I feel like he's a great dude, and earned my respect off that too.
Where do you go?
Harry's, right here in Vernon Hills.
Tevin, you mentioned
Cold discount.
this team has been open to rewarding players, their own players with contract extensions, a bunch of guys last year, for example. What kind of motivator is that, seeing guys like Cole and Jaylon who've been in this building and been rewarded with that long-term stability?
I mean, it's good to see that stuff, you know, that Bears are willing to do that, but you know, it's every situation is different, and we gotta go about. Me and my agent gotta go about however the upstairs wants to do it as well.
How was you and DeMarcus kind of in the middle of that little dust up yesterday? I know he's very, what do you say, competitive, right? But is it more frustrating for y'all that the D line is so competitive even before y'all get on pads where y'all can really put hands on them like that?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a little frustrating, you know. Well, the thing is, you know, we don't have pads on. There's nothing much for us to grab compared to them. They can do a lot of other moves and power moves that we really can't counter as much right now. And so it's going to be a lot of chirping. That's what it is. You're on the O-line, D-line. That's what's going to go on. But just as it keeps going on, you know, we're trying to fine-tune each other. And if it needs to be, like, he's just power rush, bull rush, it's going to make me better for tomorrow. So as much as I hate it today, it's going to make me better tomorrow.
Has your training regimen changed at all this offseason? I know you've experimented with a lot, like adding new things the last couple of years. Have you done any of that, or is it still the same?
As of right now, it's mostly the same. And other than adding a few golf lessons here and there, I mean, that's about it.
Were you at Topgolf the other night with Caleb?
I was not. Because we had that Strawberry Creek thing on Thursday. So I was like, hey, I ain't trying to get all my good swings out. So I got to make sure I'm good for that.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.